it's Will Ripley with JamPlay.com. Got a great lesson for you here. We're going to get into all kinds of stuff. We're going to go over power chords, some kind of stuff like done in the style of Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, some stuff like that. So some really good foundational classic rock stuff coming up for you in this one. So that first riff that I came in with there, single note riff utilizing a hammer-on, sounds like this. Okay, and so as you can see from the tab, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, basically we just have 3 notes. You've got your 5th fret on the A string, your 7th fret on the A string, and your low E string. And we're going to do a hammer on there. Now, the key with the hammer on is to make sure that the note that you hammer on is just as loud as the note that you picked. Okay, and if we just back up a step, a hammer on is always just, you play one note, right? I got my hand up, right? And I'm able to slam that finger down so hard and so fast that it makes the note sound just as loud as the first one. Okay, so that's basically what a hammer-on is. You're hammering on your finger as hard and as fast as possible. So that's the very first riff. The very first 2 notes of this riff. We're going to drop that low E string in there. This zone right here is just super, super common. Lots of great classic riffs all done in this little zone. Okay, so it's a super fun zone. So basically we're just going to cycle that. We're going to go 5 hammer 7, drop it down to the low string, do it again. We're going to drop 2 in the bass there. So we got, and we just repeat. So you'll notice that there's a stop in there. I'm going, okay? And that's a really nice rhythmical thing that you can start injecting into your playing, just slapping that right hand down, okay? And so that noise that you're hearing is kind of like it's almost like if you were to clap your hands. It's almost like the guitar is clapping its hands, because what's happening is the strings are actually clicking against the frets, and it kind of like makes like a clapping sound. And more commonly than not, that sound lines up with the snare drum that the drummer's playing. So if the drummer's going do 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 do, okay, so that is the same sound as that. Okay, and so what we got is. And you can just cycle that. And something I always encourage my students to do is to just put little sections of the riff under a microscope. Okay, so you can take the whole riff, okay, but let's just analyze this one little section and just zoom in super close and see if we can just really make this part sound good, which is this. Okay. And so honestly, you can just have some fun with that. You can hear that it's already like sounding kind of rock riff-ish. All right, so there's a lot of fun stuff going on there. Now I want to show you an alternative way to play the exact same thing. And so that's the brilliant thing about the guitar, is often we can play the exact same riff in up to 3 different ways. So let's take a look at how to play this riff, and we're not changing anything. We're playing the exact same riff, but we're going to play it in a totally different way. And this zone of the guitar is also probably equally as important for the rock riff kind of zones, if you will. So we're going to go on the D string now, and exact same riff, exact same notes, exact same rhythm, just a different place on the guitar to play it. That's it. So what this is, we're going to go open string, hammer on into the 2nd fret, okay? And then we drop that low string in there. So. And what's really cool is you can probably hear it's the same riff, it's the same notes, the same rhythm, but there's just something just tonally a little bit different when I play it up here compared to here. Okay? So now halfway through that verse, I switched into kind of like a cashmere kind of style rhythm. And I love this chord, and I want to let you in on this secret chord here. So if you play a power chord on the 7th fret of your A string, okay, and just take a second and analyze that. So a power chord on the 2nd fret of the A string. Okay, so that's got to make sense to you. It's really important that that makes sense to you and you know where that is. Okay, and if you're up here on the 7th fret of the A string and you got this little sequence set up, then you're right, okay? So normally you'd be playing those 3 strings. Now in this particular position, you can actually play all 6 strings, which is super cool. And that's like a very like Led Zeppelin kind of style chord. I just love it. So what I'm doing there is I'm rolling into this kind of cashmere style rhythm where I'm going like this. I'm just using a sequence of down and up strokes there to just get that da 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 do da da do. Okay, so it's, and I'm doing that stop, right? So we got, that would be the first part to get, just stop. And then we got, okay, and right there I'm just kind of roughly splitting up the strings. So I'm trying to get that rhythm of da da do da da do. Okay, so I'm going high notes, bottom note, high notes, bottom note. So to get that bottom note, I'm hitting just the low E string, and kind of roughly, because since this whole chord just sounds really beautiful all together, you can just roughly kind of hit that zone of the guitar to get that low sound. So we got the first part. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. Down, up, down, stop. And then we got this. That's down, up, bottom, down, up, bottom. So we got the first part, and now the second part. Okay, and you really don't have to be too specific about this. Again, because the chord sounds super beautiful all on its own, you can just kind of hit the whole thing. You can just roughly kind of separate that chord just to get this rhythm happening. So it's like, pretty fun to play that on acoustic or electric. It's just a really beautiful sounding big resonant chord that's a lot of fun. And then I'm just switching this chord slightly, getting this kind of dissonant kind of like building tone. And all I'm doing there is I'm just sliding this, what's normally my 5th of this chord. I'm just moving that. I'm just using my pinky finger up 1 fret higher. There's actually kind of a sound that reminds me of a Tool song. But anyways, so, and then optionally you can get that note in there and then replace that note that you just played previous. Okay, another like super cool, beautiful resonant tone there. But with a little bit of tension, that's kind of cool. That rhythm would sound like this, and you can just play like this. I'll actually just show it to you with just that 1 finger sliding up first, and then we'll do the whole chord. So you can go. Okay, and then to get all 6 strings going on, you'd want to move that 3rd finger down here, so then you get that position. So that whole rhythm would sound like this. Again, at full speed. Okay, and all the while, this riff Just going on in the background. So let's wrap this lesson up. Have some fun with those chords, that single note riff. Mess around with that, get that kind of like cashmere kind of style rhythm going on. And what I want to show you in the next lesson is the chorus of that song. And it's going to make you feel like a total rock star when you play it. So stick around for that. We'll catch you in the next one.